I know I say it every time I do one of these, and I've done it 1,000 times, but I always get so nervous. You will turn with me to Matthew 5. That's where we'll start. Matthew 5. Also want to point out, David is not here again to hear me speak. For those of you that haven't been here, I think this is the 11th time. That's not being exaggeration. Matthew 5, beginning in verse 13 through 16. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You have the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. If tonight's lesson had a title, and Parker, I came up with it on the fly because he asked me, he said, what would you call it? And I'd say, I don't know, live it. Because live it, not live it, although I may be live it. Good save. So, too often we see what I call passive Christianity, passing for acceptable Christianity in America. It is time that the world needs Christians to put their money where their proverbial mouths are. The world needs intentional and purposeful Christians to lead this change of love and mercy back into the world. Because for too long we have seen passiveness and apathy rule the church. And whenever we see these things happen, we see discontent, we see discord. Just look at the current state of our nation. Do we see love abounding as if this were a Christian nation? Unfortunately, we do not. It's time for a radical change, but that's not easy. Because radical change implies things. You know, in the States, we have this idea that being a Christian means you're going to be comfortable, that it means you're going to be wealthy, that it means you're going to always be that you're never going to be in want. But being a Christian, being a Christian of radical change, completely throws that out the window. Because Christ, such obedience to Christ, it risks us losing those things, the comfort, the wealth. But in the end, that risk is so worth it. Because in the end, the true reward is found. The true reward is that which is in Christ. I've said passive Christianity a time or two, and I'm going to give you like a few direct examples of what I talk about. It's not enough to come to church and be a warm body that sits in a pew. It's not enough to elect officials and then say that we live under a Christian nation because they are passing Christian laws. You cannot outlaw sin. Sin exists outside the realm of the American judicial system. Sin is everywhere, and it has so many different faces that there is no way that we can possibly outlaw it. So with these things in mind, it's time to stop being a passive Christian, to be a passive Christian. We can't continue to live in a world of Christian mediocrity, because I want you guys to think of this with me for a minute. Pedestrian Christianity is a nightmare. Not would be a nightmare, but pedestrian Christianity, mediocrity as we see it, is an absolute nightmare. Because being straddling the fence like that, you get none of the joy of the gospel. You receive only a fleeting glimpse of what it is to understand Christian brotherhood and Christian fellowship. And then in those situations, it may be disguised as hangout sessions, and you get only the justification in being at a church, not the church, but without the blatant sinfulness that the world tries to sell you as fulfillment before it ultimately destroys you. Revelations 3, 14 through 16. We all know this verse. As soon as we read it, you'll understand it. 14 through 16. And to the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things says the Amen, the faithful and the true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish that you were cold or hot. So then because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. I will vomit you. That is very strong language. Listen to it here. Vomit, not spit, not vomit you out of my mouth. He says, I know your good works. I know that you're here in the building. I know that you sing songs. I know that you take part in prayer, and that a lot of times you are earnest in these dedications to me. But I also know that when you're on a job site, you'll drop a cuss word without blinking an eye. And then you'll have the gall, the audacity to blame it on the job. That's not a good excuse. That's not a good excuse, Shelton. I'm guilty of it every day. Every day I'm guilty of this. And every day that I do this on a job site, I risk losing a soul because they don't see a Christian that stands out from among the crowd. They just see another dumb construction worker out here in the back smacking his thumb with a hammer and then dropping a bunch of words that, you certainly wouldn't tell your grandmother. Jeremiah 29:11, if you want to turn with me there. For I know the thoughts that I have towards you, says the Lord. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. For I know the plans I have for you, Shelton, of peace, not evil. But as long as you continue to carouse with the guys on the job site and play their games and tell their dirty jokes, as long as you continue to ignore the call to be more, to be separate from the world, 1 John 2:15 through 16, I can have no part of you. I can have no part of sin. Because you're a passive Christian, because you aren't actively, passionately pursuing me. What a miserable way to live as a passive Christian. Because you lie to yourself every day. It requires that being a passive Christian requires that you lie to yourself, lie to your Christian brothers and sisters every single day. If you turn with me to Ephesians 5, I try to bring this onto the job site with me every single day. Therefore, be imitators of God as dear children, and walk in love, as Christ also has loved us and given himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling aroma. For fornication and all uncleanness, covetousness, let it not be named among you as is fitting for saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving of thanks. If you will, go with me to 8 and 9. For you were once darkness, but you are the light of the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. We've got to live it every single day because we risk losing those that are lost to our bad example. And then it's on us. And there are more important things in this world than being cool or whatever. And I know that sounds stupid and cheesy and corny, but it is a thing that you worry about, even into your professional career once you're through college, because you want to fit in with your coworkers, because you want to have as much of a relationship as you can. So you worry about these fleeting things like being cool and fitting in with the guys so you can have a relationship with them. But do not risk your soul in order to do so. Always check yourself. Always be mindful of who it is, what it is you're saying. Because every word out of your mouth is according to your favor or against you. Hebrews 13, 1 through 3. Let brotherly love continue. Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by doing so you have unwittingly entertained angels. Always live it every single day. Be the example every day that we need to be. And don't just keep the example here in the building. Every day, do it to a stranger. Do it to someone that you do not know. Because if we hoard this gift, if we hoard this love in this building, what good does it do anyone? It does no one any good to hoard this loving gift that Christ has given us called grace, called mercy, it does us no good to keep it in this building. The church, as we understand it, is an organism. It is a living thing. It is described in the Gospels as a body, which implies that it is a living. This building is a statuesque thing. It does not move. It cannot breathe. We as a people can. We as God's children can. And it is up to us to be the lifeblood of the church and to carry it to the body of the world. Corinthians 13. I'd be amiss talking about love if I didn't read this. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. It does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up. Does not behave rudely. Does not seek its own. Is not provoked, and thinks no evil. Does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Bears all things. Believes all things. Hopes all things. And endures all things. Love never fails. But whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away these childish things. For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I am, also am known. And abide now in faith, hope, and love, these three. But the greatest of these is love. Every day you go out and you show people these gifts, what it is to be a Christian. Do it in love. We have to check attitudes every day. We have to check motivations. Is it altruistic, or do I have an underlying motive here? We have to ask ourselves this consistently. I'm right up there with live it again. Can't get words right. Otherwise, we risk falling on the side of self-righteousness. And then once again, we do the church no good. We need to live it. We need to show it. Be radically different. Show God, the Christ, to everyone around you every day. I know it can seem so overwhelming, and I got my first real good taste of it this summer. Because there's 80 guys on a job site, and you're their boss, and you're 26. You don't know who among them is a Christian, and when they get up in your face because you're 26 and you get back in their face, then you lose the battle. But we have to be mindful of this, and we do this by turning to one another. I say this every time I'm in front of the church, because we're so bad at utilizing one another. We have each other to turn to. Look at this wonderful family that we have. I could call Caleb, I could call Miss Tammy, I could call Craig tomorrow, tonight, in an hour and a half, and they would talk to me and walk me through a thing. Vanessa, Chris, or Chris, what else? We have each other, and I pray that we use one another. If anyone needs the prayers of the church now, please come forward as I stand and sing.